Hey guys, Xj9 here, and patch 12.20 has been released, and this was actually made 24 minutes ago, and I need to do something in 25 minutes, so I'm gonna try to make this really fast, or it should be fast because it doesn't look that long anyway. So we're gonna get right into it. AATROX is being nerfed. His heal on his passive was 100% of post mitigation damage, which is after resistances and such. Now it's only 80%. That's pretty significant considering that I've seen many times Aatroxes get like clutch heals off his passive. This is also hurts his sustain through jungle. Jungle doesn't really matter much because his sustain, he already has a lot of sustain through AoE. It mostly hurts his laning sustain. Whether he's fighting someone in the middle fight, and like he can get maybe two off in a sword skirmish if he goes all in, for instance. So this doesn't nerf his damage, just nerfs his healing, as his healing is kind of what makes him able to stay alive and deal damage, because sometimes the Aatrox lives with like 1 HP, and it's like if he didn't have his healing, he probably would have died. There's a lot of instances where like legit an Aatrox lives with like 10 HP, and it's like if this nerf was in place, he probably would have died. So it's a small nerf to adjust him, I guess. So we're gonna see how that ends up going. Again, I'm not sure how much it'll nerf like his like. What if he's just like laning and like just sustaining off that? He can sustain off like objectives. I believe he gets full healing from a epic monster. So overall, I think it's pretty good because I think similar to Kane, they it's not really so much their damage. Well, kind of Kane would need a little bit of tune damage for the scaling, which was correct. Aatrox, yeah, it's mostly just his healing. Honestly, his damage is probably fine. It's just his sustain is fucking crazy. Auction. Heroic swing duration was 3 seconds, and now it's infinite. Interesting. I wonder why they're doing that. As in, like, I saw some posts before, like 2 weeks ago, where it was like, or there was two different things, but the one thing that is actually important is they were swinging around. I think like the inhibitor tower or something. I think for a very long time. I don't know. That's kind of funny. I don't know. Why would you even want to do that? I mean, I don't know. To me, that's kind of silly. I don't know. Like, okay. Bug fixes. Fix some bugs that could cause auction to spin in place when using his E in certain locations. We're still hammering out all these locations, but these should be a noticeable improvement. Yeah, so that bug was at top lane. There was a cheese with blue side tower. If so, if the red side auction is attacking, when it's a tower dive, like someone, they have to go to a very specific place, and like they will get like stuck. And I forget the specifics about it because I'm not a bug abuser, but yeah, that's good they're fixing it. I guessing they're doing that because like, oh, like the heroic spin could be stopped by just going in front of it. So like, I mean, to me, it just seems like more of a shits and giggles things, but it is a bit of a buff with like certain interactions. Like, oh, we're sieging inhibitor. I was spin around the inhibitor or something, right? I don't know, something like that. Blitzcrank. So the thing with Blitzcrank is the problem historically with supporting with junglers that end up in the support role is that if they're ever like decent or okay-ish or even a little bit subpar in the jungle, they're likely a bit broken in support. Blitzcrank's win rate is actually like 54%. I'm not sure why his win rate's so high. I'm not sure if it's because he has better pushing power to shove in lanes and then able to roam. I'm not sure if it's because of that little added damage from his auto attacks. I'm not sure if it's a build difference. I actually haven't really looked, but his win rate was legit like 54.8% or something like that. His jungle win rate is actually again like below subpar. It was 44%, but the thing is that if you do the tank build, which is like Rush Gem Tank, you get a 49% win rate. Curious on how junglers like Blitz will end up with the new preseason changes because AoE won't be as needed in a champion's kit to jungle. And because of that, well, now you don't need Sunfire to jungle. That's something I forgot when I did my preseason notes, is that you don't necessarily need Sunfire to jungle. So, like, going Sunfire into other things might not be needed because that wolf does so much damage. But it then depends on the final product of, what's the exact numbers they're going to end up with if it can constantly auto and such. Sorry, a bit of a digression. But, or I digress, right? Um, so yeah, I also want to note that I'm actually kind of happy they have nerf champions like Belveth or like Fiddlesticks and stuff because I feel like nerfing them now is kind of stupid because it's like let's say Belveth and Fiddlesticks are a bit OP, right? It's like why even bother nerfing it right now when you're doing a ginormous jungle change? It's like kind of like I guess you're gonna have to deal with it. It's kind of like the game state right now. Like it's end of season 2, so it's kind of like I feel like when it's end of season, it's like this is the state of the game. Go get the rank that you think you should be, and there's that. Like it shouldn't be like, oh, we're gonna slightly adjust the game to make it easier to get that rank because like I think it's kind of more because what I like is more of a Dota style approach. Kind of, because I like doing a little bit of a hybrid because Dota literally does it like I think for like 9 months or something, a whole year of the same exact patch. I think I don't even freaking know, um, but I like the idea of once it gets to a certain point, just like do very minor changes and it's like if something was a glaring issue for like 9 months, well, that's on you, and you know what, you should go fix it right. Like like AATROX and Kane were so strong ever since the durability patch, but it took them like 6 months or something to fix it, or 3 months. I don't know. But I'm a big fan of that. So I'm not sure if that's intentional. Again, I'm not even talking about the patch right now, but I'm not sure if it's intentional that they aren't nerfing Belveth and such because of that. But regardless, it is good that they haven't done that because who knows if Belveth's all of a sudden gonna be garbage tier because she can't double camp or something like the blue and Gromp or something, something like that. What if Viego's all of a sudden garbage? I don't think they will be, by the way. Just saying. So base stats of Blitzcrank. Base CD was 62, now it's 60. Base attack speed was 6.65, now it's 0.625. Passive mana barrier. It was 30% of maximum mana, now it's 15 to 40% of maximum mana levels 1 through 18. That was interesting because it nerfs his early game all-ins and his early game, but buffs his late game, his mid game. This probably mostly, it honestly affects all support and jungle because he does not get, whatchamacallit, I doubt he was at level 14, 15, 16 unless it's like some stupid bronze game. I'm not even sure if top blitzcrank is a thing, so I do not know. But regardless, this hurts. I mean, again, this hurts all types of blitzcranks because yeah, that's a ginormous nerf on his early game presence with mana. More probably a lot in jungle as well because in jungle you would keep max mana a lot, and he doesn't use much mana, so that's probably a really big nerf to blitzcrank, even jungle. W overdrive. Damage to monsters was 60 to 180, levels 1 through 18. Now 60 to 220, level 1 through 18. Note, no longer scales linearly. Scaling is as follows: 60, 80, 100. So it goes up by 20 until the 160 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at level 6, it goes to 160, which is, oh wow, that's crazy. So when you're level 6, you're already dealing 160 damage. When before, I think it was like by the time you're level 6, you'd probably be doing like, I don't know, 100. That's a big buff. The reason they're doing that is probably because they nerfed his base AD and attack speed, but they want to keep Jungle Blitz relatively the same because it hasn't so far been a problem. So again, I like this a lot. I like it. I like this a lot. So because again, Riot already does non-linear scaling, such as like armor per level. If armor per level is like a plus 13 a level on a champion, it's not actually plus 13. It's like 6, and then it's like 6.4. Then like towards the end, it'll be like plus like 14 or something. So they already do that. So it's nice to see more of this because it really helps like whether or not you want a champion to. How do you want the champion to perform at this certain specific point, like level 6? How do you want this champion to like? I just love that. I love changes like that. I just love it. It makes me feel very good inside. Because it feels more purposeful instead of just like let's just put these random numbers on and hope for the best. Well, it's not random, but like let's just put numbers on and hope for the best. I like it when it's more purposeful. Power Fist empowered auto attack damage against champions was 200% total AD, 25% AP. Now it's 175% total AD, 25% AP. Pretty significant nerf because total AD is also base AD and bonus AD. So this nerfs Trinity Force jungle a lot on Blitzcrank. Again, I'm not sure how top lane was. I actually did not look. I mean, I can look really fast if top lane was a thing. I do not think it was a thing. I might be wrong. I haven't really looked. No, it is abysmal. So don't do that. Yeah, that's mostly about the Trinity Force Blitzcrank. And is that even like I don't know. I don't think it's even that good. Who knows? It might be good with the next patch though, because again, like the problem with Trinity Force that your clearing was just be so. Damage to non-champions unchanged. Blitzcrank now has a chance to uppercut monsters to the moon when overkilling them. So yeah, before it was minions. It was minions and monsters. So I guess it's only monsters now. I'm guessing it's monsters now because it's like more personal. Meanwhile, like if you were able to do that in lane, it'd probably be a bit confusing. So I mean, again, it's kind of like a pointless change, but whatever. At least cast range on Q was 625. Now it's 575. Range detection, edge of Elise to center of the target hitbox. Now it's center of Elise to center of the target's. Oh, to edge of the target's hitbox. So now it's the center of Elise to the edge of the target's hitbox. So I'm not sure again the specifics about that. Maybe this is more for consistency issues. Elise's Q range is currently slightly shorter than her auto attack range, which leads to an awkward half step when she Q autos enemies. This range adjustment should make her combos feel much smoother, even though the number went down, this should result in a slight range increase, especially against larger enemies. Okay, I'm a big fan of that. I actually know what they're talking about with that. So if that is true, because yeah, my brain does not do this stuff. Uh, yeah, that's good then. Then this is a good change. I don't mind. That's really good. I don't like want clunkiness. Evelyn got, I think, buffed. Bonus max damage to mark targets on her Q was 10 to 50. Now it's 15 to 55. So level 1, your clear is going to be a little bit better. It's 15 more damage. Or 5 more damage. Yeah, well, it's 5 more damage, but then 15 total damage increase at all ranks. So it's pretty good. W alert charm duration was 1 to 2 seconds. Now it's 1.25 to 2.25 seconds. I like this a lot because her charm is very telegraphed. A lot of times late game or even mid game, you actually want to charm the target that is likely to protect the target you want. So for instance, if there's an AD carry and a top lane together, you actually want to charm the tank and actually go on the AD carry because the AD carry probably has no resistances anyway, like the squishy targets you actually want, and you'll CC the target. So W Max and Evelyn might be like pretty much like the default to do instead of like situational. I also like it because CC is one of the best counters to people being mega fed. As long as it's not oppressive, like she can't really chain CC though. So I think this is more of the one of the more healthier CCs to actually buff. So overall, I agree with all these buffs. I actually think her win rate is actually kind of crummy right now. Anyway, 50%. I don't know. It's not that crummy. It was like I think it hovers. It just depends on the day. Right now it's 50%. How is it? Yeah, I don't know. She's usually like 51, 52, but again, like I saw like 49. Like 50% is fine, but like I realized I think the change is fine. Gwen, because even if you max E second cell, you probably won't notice this buff anyway. So our early game is essentially the same. Gwen Q base damage increase. Base damage percent was 10 to 26 plus 5% AP. Now it's 10 to 30, 5% AP. So level 1 doesn't do more damage than level 2, does 2 more damage. How many snips are there? There's 4 snips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. How many snips are there? Because there's 4 in the bar. But then if you queue, she does 2 by default. So is there 6 snips or 5 snips? It's 6 snips. Yeah, it is 6 snips. See, I was thinking, cause I was thinking of playing Gwen. I was like, if you have no stack, she does which is 2, and then, yeah. So yeah, it's 6 snips. So total damage was 60 to 140. Now it's 60 to 160. I actually haven't jungled Gwen. I don't know how she can jungle. I mean, I don't know how good it would be. It's probably okay. I don't think it's. I think it got nerfed a lot. I haven't tried it, which makes me sad. I like Gwen a lot as a character. She's so cute, right? Jace. W Lightning Field. Mana Restoration was 6 to 16. Now it's 10 to 20. That's the. Is that the on hit portion or just when it's on? I think that's just when it's on. He gets mana or something. I don't know honestly. Whatever, I guess. Bonus armor and magic resist on his R transformation was 5 to 35. Now it's 5 to 35, but now it's scaled with 7.5% bonus AD. It also isn't whatever on the lightning shield. It's over. Oh, it's almost like 100% buff. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Um, it depends on the applications. As in, like, I just don't know how much Jace utilizes that. But a 7.5% bonus AD on Mercury Hammer when you're in the hammer form is pretty big because like it works with Conquer probably, and since you go in melee, I'm guessing the changes from ranged AD into melee AD. I'm assuming, or no, that's not how it works at all. Conquer gives a flat AD no matter if you're ranged or melee. Why did I think that? I'm not sure why I did, but regardless, he builds a lot of AD, so he likes it. Like if you have 100 bonus AD, I mean it's significant in terms of like surviving against like assassin burst because it's also armor and magic resist, so AP assassins too. Kennen E Lightning Rush. After ending his E, I swear Kennen should have been a girl. After ending his E, Kennen's bonus attack speed buff will now allow him to surpass the 2.5% attack speed limit. How big of a buff is that? Well, I guess they went lethal tempo, but it's kind of hard. I don't know. It's literally only buffs like an 80 Kennen. I also don't know how long does the buff last for? I'm guessing for the tax. Oh no, 3 seconds. I'm not sure specifically that buff that is because you would need a lot of attack speed to even bypass the total amount, and range doesn't get as much attack speed from lethal tempo, I believe. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess this opens up room for some attack speed kind of or something. I don't know. Maokai passive stat magic. Healing based on maximum HP was 4.5% to 12% based on level of maximum HP. Now it's 4 to 10% based on level of maximum health. Note, maximum health ratio will now be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10% at levels 1, 6, 11, 13, 15, 17. So I'm going to look and see. Hopefully they didn't update the wiki yet because I'm just curious on how it's scaled before. So it did so it scales the same way, so it was like the same level marks, and I gave different percentages. But overall, yeah, it's pretty much got nerfed like 1-2%. But I don't know. I guess that's fine. It's just trimming is sustained. Yeah, I mean, honestly that sustained on his passive was just too strong. Our nature's grass cooldown was 120 to 80. Now it's 120 to 100. That's good. That ult was probably too strong. I mean, considering how much utility they gave it, so it's kind of like vile-ish. Ramus W defensive ball curl. Self slow was 3%. Now it's 0% removed. That's very good. I like that a lot. I wonder if it's self slow and Vi should be removed, right? Right? I don't know. I think that's really nice though. Dash speed on his R was 105% of movement speed. Now it's 110% movement speed. So slight buff. So his R, honestly, the thing about his R, I really feel like Ramus needs this is that if he does not hit a target with his ultimate, he should still be in ball stance. If he hits a target with his ultimate, aka knocks them up, his Q should end. But if it doesn't end, he should be able to continue chasing. Like to me, in my mind, like what if like I want to Q and like it would open up a lot more skill cap of Ramus, and a lot more flashier plays. Like you would Q with Ramus going, like, oh, just I need to get over this wall of the dragon though. So instead of like walking around, you're actually gonna over the dragon wall and continue queuing. Like to me, that feels a lot more flashy, a lot cooler, and a lot more decision making because Brambis is kind of linear into his decision making, and I feel like if they just made it so his Q does not end if you do not hit a target with your R, it would just make up a lot more a lot more skill in the champion. So I really feel like they need to do that because his R, if you're trying to hit it on a target, it's usually just so bad. Like it's the only reason you would ever R into someone is if they're CC'd already, they have no flash, and like they cannot react for some reason, or you're trying to force a flash and you know it'll hit them if they don't flash, and then just instantly run away. But that's the problem when you try to run away. You don't have your Q anymore, so you just die. But the thing is that now his defensive ball curl doesn't have a self slow, so maybe he can run away now. But I still feel like his Q should not end after R. I honestly feel like that because imagine if Volibear if you Q'd and then R'd, your Q just ended for some reason. It's just like It shouldn't be like that. That's all. It really shouldn't be like that at all. Set. Base stats. Magic resist was 32. Now it's 28. Passive pit grit. Health regeneration per 5% of missing HP was 0.25, 0.512. Now it's 0.15, 0.512. So with set, that only nerfs his early game so far with the passive. Uh, it was levels 1, so at level 6 he becomes the same health regen, so he's weaker until level 6 slightly. And right, missing health radiation per 5% missing health. Is that like uh is is that as a, like the flat health per second he gains? Yeah, per second. Okay. So yeah, that doesn't nerf his early game. Right punch AD ratio was 50% bonus AD, now it's 55% bonus AD. Right punch is the second one, right? Yeah. And his better. So overall, his early game is quite a bit weaker. His support's a bit weaker because he's more susceptible to ranged AP poke. He's weaker to like lanes like Mord in top lane. He got a slight buff AD ratio, but it's also only bonus AD on the right punch. So that also nerfs support too, as in like support won't benefit from that at all. I still wish they'd buff jungle a little bit, but again, kind of like I guess you should just wait until the preseason, right? I guess so. Overall, it's fine. Wukong, our AD ratio increased. Fizzle damage per cast was 8 to 16 of target's match HP, 22% AD. All I did was buff from 220 AD to 275% AD. Pretty significant buff. Some people are downplaying this buff, and Riot said this was a jungle buff when it buffs top lane too, and maybe middle if that's played. I have 3 minutes left, jeez. So overall, that's a ginormous buff overall. So he has a utility nerf, but now he's kind of more like dual DPS. It really depends on if it's enough damage to make him just like there's a 0 to 100 champion, and we'll see if that's the case. But regardless, this is a ginormous buff. Some people are laughing about this buff, like how is 55% AD? Not even like bonus AD. It's all AD, base AD and bonus AD. Like how's that not a significant buff? I don't know. Ziggs. Magic damage on his Q was 85 to 285. Now it's 95 to 295, so 10 base damage. So probably because of the sustain buff, so durability. Sorry. So how do I think about that? I don't know. I always feel like I don't know. I guess it's fine, but it's one of those, I mean, it depends on his win rate. But if his win rate's not 50% or if his win rate's 50%, he didn't need this. But people don't only like plain broken stuff. Demonic Embrace got nerfed. Health was 450, now it's 350. Ability power was 60, now it's 70. Range burn damage per tick was 1% maximum HP, now it's 0.8% maximum health. That is pretty significant. Originally, they weren't even going to nerf the maximum HP damage, and they actually did. But it's also only range, so that actually hurts Lily a lot. This actually hurts Lily a lot, Jesus. The ability, because like before it was just this, which is like not even strictly a nerf, where they just give 100 HP. You lose 100 HP, but you get 10 AP. But yeah, you're a bit squishier, but you have more damage. But yeah, I mean that hurts a lot. But I guess it's justified kind of because like it's kind of like it's strange because no one in pro play really builds it that much. I don't think, but like I don't know. Well, it's so nerfed. Overall, I guess it's fine. It overall nerfs damage, so it's fine. I guess. Frozen Heart. This was a knee nerf. Total cost was 2,500. Now it's 2,700. Combined cost was 600. Now it's 800. So all the components are the same. It's just the combined cost has increased. Armor was 80. Now it's 90. So they actually increased the armor. Rock Solid damage reduction was 7. Now it's 5. So overall, pretty justified. Increased gold is good because it gives so much. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. It gives so much armor that's like the 10 armor isn't like something you want. You want the passive from it. So it was actually really good they did this. It's still a good. It's still a very good item, but it wouldn't surprise me if you see people start not buying it because it got nerfed. People only bought it because it was like extremely OP and it was extremely OP for like 3 months and no one bought it. So but this damage reduction also is also pretty significant as well. Depending on the circumstances, but because I believe this also works against minions and monsters and such. I need to stop this little reset. I need to hurry up. More reminder: total cost was 2,500. Now it's 2,600. Attack damage was 25. Now it's 35. Bonus attack speed was 25. Now it's 20. Um. While we buffed more reminder, be better grievous wounds item. It still completes directly with Fiender to stats rate because waiting the options. So I'm a big fan. Yeah, I agree. I like that they buffed the AD and nerfed the attack speed. I think that's good. I actually think this was I think overall this was a good change. It makes it more impactful of a purchase. If you especially if you buy it maybe second, I like this. This is a good change. I expect more reminders second even maybe. But the one of the biggest problems is that supports just keep buying the grievous wounds. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Overall, I think it's good, but this support Grievous Moon items is so strong. Stark's Gauge. The claws that catch bonus AD, 45% base AD. Now it's 50% base AD. So this is the passive. So now you get 50% more base AD instead of 45% more base AD. Lifeline shield amount. I think. Right. Yeah. So 50% of your base AD is converted to bonus AD, is what this is now. So it's 5% buff. Lifeline shield amount was 75% bonus health to King over 3.75 seconds. Now it's 80% bonus health to King over 4.5 seconds. So yeah, now you have a bigger shield and it'll decay slower, which I'm assuming is less per second. So overall, it got double buffed. I actually definitely expect to see this item. This item has been built because this guy was kind of forgotten. And I like that they're buffing a little bit. They don't want it to be oppressive as it was before, but yeah, it's being adjusted to be a little bit stronger. So, and sorry, I'm just opening this stupid thing. I actually need to do this. Where is it? Okay, great. So, lethal tempo. Bonus attack, auto attack range was 50 for melee champions, 75 for range. That's 50 for melee and range champions. I fully agree with this. Ever since this rune was made, I always thought it was a little bit overpowered. Simply because, like, champions like Vayne and what you would call it, Callista, Jinx, all of a sudden they're able to like turn fights that like they're losing, but then they get a gank and then they can immediately just turn and have so much kiting potential and damage. It was pretty much like if you're not picking a champion that uses lethal tempo, you're trolling. It's why I think that's why like I think in Worlds like you don't even see Jin is because like lethal tempo is such a broken rune. And like if you're not taking lethal tempo, you're taking either hail blades and yeah, sure, some people take press attack, but that's mostly I think with Lucian. Just because he's so bursty and doesn't need lethal tempo because he's an auto. He has like two autos and then he ults. He's kind of a caster AD carry. Um, sorry, I'm just doing this fast. Okay, so overall, I agree with the nerf to it. Okay, the nerf to it. Because I always felt like this rune was a little too strong. It's been getting nerfed slowly over time, which is fine. I one thing I always wonder is like, is that 50 range for melee champions significant? Like, I might try using it more on champions like Viego just to see like if it's significant. Like, I like it a lot on Vi. Like, is it because like I think the 50 bonus range stacks with like the 25 range that bonus from their E. So I'm just curious at how significant it is. It's probably more significant on champions like Yasuo and Yon probably. I'm not sure how it interacts with their Q casting. Like if they Q does, I don't think their range increases, right? I don't think so. But regardless, like their Q is bigger than their auto, but then I think it starts matching. Like their auto range starts matching their Q cast range. So interesting. Behavioral systems, zero tolerance language will not be detected live and in game. Uh, Detected live and in games. Live, what does that mean? Live, like in the lobby. I'm got like lobby slash maybe even friends chat. I think that just means in lobbies, right? I think it's just lobbies. When detected, these messages will not be sent to other players. The offending player will be system muted, and all players will be notified. Yeah. So wow, why are they gonna be notified though? Well, how long is the system mute? With our growing confidence in feeding detection, we're increasing the strictness of the model for high-level play and ranked solo duo. We'll continue to evaluate play in other queues and make adjustments as necessary. Recently honored players will not be visible in the Add Friends request menus. We're gonna make sure it's easy to keep playing with these players you've enjoyed playing in the past. I like that. I think that's a good change too, in terms because a lot of people don't use because people just use third party. So I like that they're making it like, oh, I honor this guy. Well, I wonder how long it'll stay. Like, let's say I honored this guy a week ago, and say it's like a list of 10 people, like the last 10 people you honored or something, or like I'm not sure how long this list is. Like, how long does it last? How long is the list? Because what if some guy like, let's just say it's from 10 days, like a list of 10 people that you've honored past week, or um, what would it? I just hope it's something like that, because if it's just like, oh, it keeps them for a day, it's kind of like, I feel like people are more like the people who like look at it and are like, I'm kind of bored. Let's see who was nice. Who did I honor? Oh, I'm gonna add this guy. Maybe it was something like that. So I wonder how the feeding detection, how much more serious the feeding detection is being increased. I think that's good. I've seen some Reddit posts though about people saying I was banned. Like, one guy was banned because they went like 0-16 or like 1-16 Aramis in like a 30-minute game, but like they had very good CS and they actually won the game and they got banned. So it's like, I didn't look at the game, but like the fact he won and the fact he had high CS and like a decent item build, like as in like a decent as like, it was good, it was fine. Uh, Makes me think that he wasn't trolling. Everyone was just hounding on him, saying, "Lol, going 116, you think you don't deserve a ban?" It's like, well, he's just doing the strategies that certain streamers do, like feeding their ass off and silent and winning. So it's like, what's wrong with that? Rammus's ult does damage to towers, so it's like he's just trying out something new. So I kind of hope that guy got investigated and hopefully not banned, because I feel like it wasn't supposed to be he probably shouldn't have got banned. At least I think, based on my short observation. Event missions. A new patch of event missions. Okay, great. So new event missions for if you bought the pass, I think. Yeah, yeah, with your event pass with tails. Yeah, okay. Mythical Rift narrative missions. What are Rift narrative missions? Does that mean like Spirit Blossom when they show like a picture or something? I don't even know. Um, you need to give me a second, guys. I apologize, but like, you know, my duty calls sometimes. Okay, we're done, guys. Mythic Chroma icon updates. So portrait and new colors. So I need to read this. We heard your feedback loud and clear. Mythic Chroma icons are receiving updates that standardize their features. Moving forward, all Mythic Chroma icons will feature the following. So what is this about? Portraits with new colors that reflect changes to the skin. Portraits with... Okay. New summoner icon if the original skin did not have a matching icon or did not have an icon that features a portrait. No decorative border. Naming standardization. Skin name Mythic Chroma icon. Skin name. Oh, so it's by... Okay. Icons receiving changes in the patch 12.20 include Astronaut Conqueror Pantheon, Astronaut Pike, Battle Kimia Ezreal, Final Boss Vigard, Stargrain Jinx, Mythic Chroma Icon, some Bewitching Misfortune, Prestige LeBlanc. I like the Misfortune skin, but I don't play her. I'm kind of sad I didn't play the last two patches. Like, I bought the pass, but I didn't do shit. Now I'm freaking pissed. Because I actually like that Misfortune skin. But I don't really play her anyway, so does it really matter? I don't know. I like that skin. That was pretty. Now I'm freaking pissed. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit mad about that. I kind of like the Sword Guardian Jinx icon. I don't like the new one that much, so oh well. That's kind of sad. How come owners of it don't get to keep the old icon, or just make the old icons available for these skins if you buy them, but for going forward you can't get them, like, or no, now you can't get them going forward. They won't make them like that. Like, I don't like it when it's like it exists, but we're gonna like, it's like, hey, we're gonna change this for you, and yeah, we could let you keep that icon if you like that icon, and maybe you got, but we're gonna just get like, because it's like, what if I got that Jinx skin because I liked how the portrait looked? Some people might get it just for that, and then you're like, okay, we're actually changing how a product you bought looks. Then it's like, oh yeah, well, this is just our new rules, but it's like, well, I bought the skin for this because I like the portrait. Well, sorry, we changed the portrait. But then it's like, don't you have the portrait in your files and can't you just give me it? Yes. Then why don't you? sorry, we can't do that. This is the new like it's like why not just do that? I don't agree with that. I feel like if you buy the skin at any time, you should get both versions of the icon, but going forward, you only get the one version, like the one new version standardized. Like I don't agree with this. This is I don't like this. I'm actually kind of mad about that. I don't like. I just don't. I just don't like things like that. Where like it's there, but they're not gonna give it to you, even though you got it your before. Like we're taking it away. I don't like when they take away something from you. It's not like they're changing a skin. Like oh, we're doing a rework of this champion. Oh, we change all Evelyn skins. It's not like that. It's like it's just a freaking icon. It's kind of even like how they changed some of the old icons. Like they changed how like the bear looks and like the flower icon. I think but now it looks different. Like, why did they even do that? I feel like if if you were an old player, maybe you should have just kept those. But I don't even care about exclusivity. I just don't like it when they get rid of certain things for like the hell of it. Quiet Life updates. Maybe it's insignificant with that though because they were free icons, but like something you paid for, especially recent. It's like why are you getting rid of it? Searching for a champion by typing their name in champion select will automatically clear any currently selected floor filters. That's good. Bug fixes. Fix the bug that causes HP bar visual issues on champions like Kled or Galio for only to show off for show the top half of the bonus slash shielded health. The top half. Okay, that's good. So I was misleading. It was like missing 50% of the HP. Fix the bug that caused Gragas' ultimate airborne effect to last for a shorter duration than intended. Wow, I wonder how significant that is, honestly. I wonder if, again, I just wondered the implications. Fix the bug interaction with Furious W and Darius' passes that cause the bleed to deal 1 true damage at the end of the duration of Furious W despite being properly parried. Fix the bug that caused Cinder to not gain Splinter of Wrath when getting minion credit from an ally support item. That's significant. Fix the bug that was causing Viego's empowered auto attacks to be audible from the Fog of War. Big buff. If it was a consistent thing, big buff, big buff. I actually wonder. I kind of wish they explained like this was at all points in the game, or like this only happened during objectives, like or like if it happened at all points in the game, wow, that's freaking disgusting. Fix a bug that was causing players to not receive the wave goodbye challenge after killing 20 minions within 30 seconds. Fix the bug that was causing. Why is it fix a bug? The other ones were fixed. Fix a bug. Fix a bug. So fix. Fix a bug that was causing the Jukes challenge not progress when dodging 5 skill shots quickly. I don't care about these challenges. I don't care. Fix the bug that was causing mythic item borders to appear on other items if the items were moved around within players' inventories. Okay, that's a visual bug. Um, Fix the bug where clicking on the X button while searching when while search is open in the shop would only close the search function and not the entire shop interface. Okay, that's good, I guess. I don't use the search function though. Update the challenge. Well, kind of, I do. Update the challenges token menu to sort correctly by rarity under the identity customization menu when using filters. I don't know what that means. I don't really care. Some new skins. Nico one's cute. Um, Nivea one's cute. Cass, this looks like Morgana. This literally legit looks like Morgana. Because, like, you look at this, you don't even look at her tail. This can just look like a robe. You know, like, I actually thought this was Morgana. Oops. Oops. Oh, there you go. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment or something. But overall, I think it's good. Bye.